The following program is a presentation of Jez Sports. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Main Event Podcast. We're here today to discuss the good, the bad, and the ugly of AEW and Dynamite and Rampage Grand Slam. I'm Jez. That's Dan. We had promised an extra third person, but right off the bat, they are unwell, so Matt won't be joining us until next week, which is in two episodes' time. But, you know, we've been doing this for... How long have we been doing this now? I don't even...
A couple of years.
3 years?
Something like that.
Jesus, we're old. So yeah, I'm sure we can manage another 2 episodes on our own. I'm sure
we'll manage. Yeah.
But how are you?
I'm very well, actually. I'm very good. Life is good. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah. Pretty decent as well. I'm firmly in my my quest to move into an American time zone pattern now. So I've been watching wrestling, live for the last 2 weeks. Stayed up for AEW Dynamite yesterday, which was nice. And I'll be there front and center for NXT No Mercy and Wrestle Dream on Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be that'll be cool as well. So yeah. And apart from the odd bit of roadworks going on directly outside my window and that kind of nonsense waking me up, it's been pretty smooth transition as well. So that's nice.
There you go.
Yeah, it's almost like they don't give a damn that I'm sleeping. The people doing work and stuff.
Yeah, they don't care about you, man.
It's unbelievable behaviour, frankly.
Yeah.
I think they should sort their lives out.
Yeah. Well, go outside and tell them, and then I will video it and watch the reaction.
Well, I was going to say, if I go outside and tell them, then I'll probably be locked up. So that will be the end of the show as we know it, and it'll just be you and Matt going forwards.
Yeah, we can take over.
Yeah. Watch it, Tamsin. Welcome in. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Did you have noisy street work people as well at 8 o'clock in the morning the other day? Because I did, and I was trying to sleep. Anyway, so I had a whole thing planned where we'd ask Matt about himself and his history in wrestling, but I guess we'll make that wait for a couple of weeks, and we'll move right into what we're doing, which, first of all, is our predictions to date. I am on 42. You are on 46.
So, baby.
You're edging away on the competition with only month and a half, 2 months to go.
Is that
this
it?
Quarter? Yeah, well, it's to Survivor Series, isn't it? And this this time is absolutely flying. But there are also a butt ton, I think that's the metric term, of events between now and then. So we may get to 100 once again. You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
As long as we predict correctly. That would also help. Yeah, a new gas line's being put in my street. They were knocking the door before 8 a.m. to tell me they'd be turning the gas off. Oh no, I had that months ago. I don't know what the hell they're doing on my street now. Like, it seems that they were digging up somebody's front garden and putting something in there.
Doing it for the hell of it.
Maybe they're burying a body like old school,
possibly
Brookside style.
Yeah.
Do you remember Brookside?
I know of it.
And the man buried under the patio. It's a big story in the land of soap operas. Back in probably before you were born, actually, now that I think about it. When were you born again?
94.
Yeah, I think they were putting someone under the patio as you were being thrust out of your mother's uterus. So
that's a nice image. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up. When was the burial underneath the patio? And I would say 1994 is probably a good bet.
Good guess.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably about right. Anyway, digression. You're winning the predictions, and I need to sort that out. I assume that's the name of the bloke that was buried, Tamsin. Trevor Jordache or Jordake.
Jordake.
Yeah, hopefully we won't get Jordake as we crack through this. We're going to start with Dynamite Grand Slam and then move into Rampage Grand Slam because that's the order that they happened in. And the opening match was the Ring of Honor World Title, New Japan Strong Openweight Title, winner take all match. Claudio Castagnoli against Eddie Kingston. And you can begin with this one. The good, the bad, the ugly. What did you think?
Okay, well, kind of enjoyed this one, even though it had Eddie Kingston in it. I liked the kind of chop/forearm off at the beginning, where they were like, have that. No, you have that. Have that. No, you have that. I quite like that. Don't know whether it's good or just was using the crown of his head to block the back fist.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That must have hurt.
Yeah,
I liked it, but at the same time, I was a bit like, so yeah, it was good. Dropping on the ramp, all that good stuff. Claudio taking the machine gun chops in the corner, then just getting punched in the face. I just found that funny. He was like, yeah, come on, Ed, bam. So, kind of funny. And at the end, I liked the Code of Honor, even though
they don't like each other,
half-assed.
Apparently.
Yeah. I liked that. Bad for me, kick out of a recoiler bomb. I think that's supposed to be a finisher.
It's supposed to be his finisher, but he's kind of got a few. Yeah. I didn't put that down, but I do agree with you. There's no need for that.
I do have an ugly. It was the sliding clothesline. Just looked god awful.
It's hard to do a sliding clothesline because the ring mat, by definition, is not supposed to be slidey. It's supposed to be grippy so that you don't slip over in it. So it's pretty hard to do that sliding move. Yeah,
I do get that, but at the same time, if you can't do it, don't do it.
There is that. Yeah, there's definitely that. Yeah.
You know, what have you got?
I've got much the same as you. I liked that Claudio was in control for the majority of the match, and then Kingston had the comeback at the end of the match. You know, it really fit that babyface role that he is in right now. And I don't know if this is good or not, but I've put it in the goods because there's no better place for it, really. 2 years in a row, Claudio Castagnoli has lost the Ring of Honor World Title at AEW Grand Slam.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, he lost it last year
next year
to Chris Jericho, and then won it back again, like January, I think it was. January of this year. And now, he's lost it again. I'm not sure he'll be going back for it. So
no,
he'll have to just lose a title at Grand Slam is probably the way that works. In the bads, I've got that this was just a bit by the numbers. It wasn't a match that happened, but it was just the match came, the match went, and it was fine. Yeah. It wasn't bad. And I'm with you. You know, I don't like Eddie Kingston, but I did enjoy this match, and I have enjoyed Eddie Kingston a lot more in this last couple of months. Now that he's just being, you know, a wrestler instead of pretending he's hard from the streets.
He's hard.
He's hard from the streets, and he'll
he's
cut
well
you.
Hard.
And I'm like, mate, maybe you will. Like, I'm sure you are genuinely hard, and that you were, you know, raised on the streets. But I just don't care. Could you just do the wrestling thing? That's what I care about. I don't care how hard you are, other than can you win a match and what can you do in the ring. But I like this more humble, you know, paying respect to all, especially to all of like the Japanese wrestlers, and paying homage to them. And you can see how important a lot of what he's doing is to him. And he shared that story. I don't know if you saw it on social media, that as the pandemic kicked off, he was about to give up wrestling completely because he had just just left either Impact or Ring of Honor when the pandemic hit, with a plan to tour the world, do as many promotions as possible. Obviously, that wasn't going to happen during the pandemic, and therefore he didn't have any work, didn't have any income coming in.
Yeah.
So he was about to jack it in and go and get a normal kind of shelf stacking job,
everyday job.
And it was only when, towards the start of things opening back up again, he had a match with Cody Rhodes at a random indie show.
Yeah.
And from the back of that, he was booked to come in to AEW. And, the rest is history, really. And now
that's quite a nice story.
He's got 2 championships and he's still wrestling. And he did the G1 Climax this year, which has been a dream of his, apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of Eddie Kingston that I want to see, not this, like, I'm going to put some batteries in a sock and hit you over the head, mate. Like, I'm just like, boring.
Just be a wrestler.
Just be a wrestler. If you're out there, Eddie, just be a wrestler, okay? Nothing else matters, in the words of Metallica. Predictions. I've got some wonderful news for you, Dan. It's that not only do we have mine and your predictions this week, we have Matt's, even though he's not here yet. But we're going to throw that in. And the even better news is that both you and Matt went for Claudio Castagnoli, and I did not. Which means that I start AEW Grand Slam as the ones. That was a bit Sabu, actually.
Yeah, you're going a bit Sabu.
Yeah.
Well, the bloodline is pretty much dead, so...
Yeah, I mean, the We the Ones thing is still going, but...
Can I explain why I went for Claudio?
You can absolutely tell me why you were dead wrong. Go for it.
Because I thought Claudio was going to win, and then this was going to make Kingston an even more angry man, and then he was going to win them both at Wrestle Dream. The actual pay-per-view sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I was more of the opinion that this was supposed to happen a long time ago, and the only reason that it hadn't happened yet was because Eddie Kingston went to do G1. I think it was supposed to happen at I don't know, Double or Nothing or whatever was on at the same kind of time as the G1. Maybe even the Ring of Honor pay-per-view that was there. I don't remember dates and times. And so for me, it was just a formality. And Eddie Kingston was always going to win. So, but we'll roll again and predict it for this Sunday as he defends both of these titles against Katsuyori Shibata. So watch this space. Now, before we continue, there has been an update. Both Tamsinaki and I did both did the Googling and found the same information, so that's good. Yes, Trevor Jordache, or Jordache, whatever you want to call him, was stabbed and killed in 1993, buried under the patio. Then that's where he resided for the entirety of the year of your birth, and was dug up in 1995. So I thought it was around that time.
Nice. So he died before I was born.
Yeah. So all the way through 1994, his
under the patio.
His missus was bricking it that it was going to be discovered that he was under the patio. Yeah. So that means I was like 8 at the time watching this show. And when they dug him up, like when they found him, they were doing patio work, and it's literally like just a hand, I think it was, sticking out of the dirt. I'm like, oh, yeah, great. That's a great thing for a 8-9-year-old to see, isn't it? No wonder I'm the way I am now.
Good parents.
You should have been in bed. Nah, Brookside was on like 7:30, something like that. Like, my bedtime was probably straight after Brookside. Also, I had a VHS player, so I probably could have watched it the next day if I really wanted to. But it was one of the soaps that I enjoyed as a child. That and Neighbours and Home and Away. Yeah, forget all that.
Fair enough.
All that, northern crap like Coronation Street and Emmerdale. Apart from the plane crash in Emmerdale, that was fun. I enjoyed that. But mainly I just tuned into the soaps when they had something spectacular happen and then turned it off again. No, not EastEnders.
This has turned into a whole different podcast.
Yeah. I mean, basically, wrestling is basically one big soap opera, so it's kind of the same. Yeah. No, the only time I tune into EastEnders whenever they set fire to the Queen Vic, which was more often than they should have, quite frankly.
Yeah, it happens most of the time.
I think that's happened a good 3 times, even just in my childhood, not even my entire life.
Yeah.
But yeah. So every week, yes, indeed, yes, I tune in every Friday to EastEnders to watch the Queen Victoria go up in flames. Yeah. Anyway, back to the soap opera that is AEW, and I mean this story that came in the next match was totally befitting a trash soap opera, especially at the end. Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara, a match all about respect and friendship and respect, and then he kicked him in the balls and turned his back on him.
On Callis.
Yeah. Like a feud between warring Mancunians in Coronation Street. I don't know. I don't watch it. Anyway, my turn. So let's start with the goods.
Yeah.
The Super Cutter by Sammy Guevara. I like that. That was decent. And then likewise, the Sammy Guevara moonsault from the turnbuckle to the outside. Thought that was very nicely done. Looked beautiful. The shooting star press counted into the code breaker.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't do that right, you're breaking something. So kudos to them for pulling that off. And then, the other good is Sammy Guevara actually turning on Jericho. I think that's a great thing for Sammy's career and going forward and joining the Don Callis family. Hopefully he can have a bit more of the spotlight instead of just being the background kind of guy with Jericho. But the only bad I have was that there were points in the match where Jericho was visibly waiting for some moves to happen. It was just like, and whatever reason the timing was out, and he was just like, okay, I'm gonna get moved now any moment. Oh, there it is. Anything from you?
I liked the code breaker to Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara using Chris's own move against him. The suplex to the outside from the apron, that looked like it hurt. I still enjoyed it. I liked it when Guevara did the pose and then Jericho came and did his bit on top, but just was glaring down at Guevara. And Guevara just kind of looked up and was like, I'm in
a match.
But I don't actually have any bads. Just it was a good match.
Yeah, it was decent, and it served the purpose of furthering this story, and I'm really looking forward to the 6-man match at WrestleDream, and I don't often look forward to 6-man matches.
I'm looking forward to it because we get to see Will Ospreay.
Yeah, boy. Yeah,
we like a bit of Will.
Oh yes, and we'll talk about the greatness of Will Ospreay at length in the next episode, I'm sure.
Yes,
when we get to the New Japan match. So, predictions. In this one, we did a bit of a flip.
Oh.
I went for Sammy Guevara, and you and Matt both went for Chris Jericho.
Okay. Does that mean I need to put a hand up for Matt?
No, screw him. If he can't be here, he doesn't get any hands. But it does mean that you will join me as being the ones, or Sabu. Whatever you want to do there. And Matt's on one as well, but, whatever. AEW International Championship. Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix. I think we're going to talk a lot about this one, and over to you. Start with whichever you want, good, bad, or ugly.
We'll start with the goods.
Why
because I have a feeling we won't get to the goods if we start with the bad.
Fair enough.
So, fight on the ramp. Great. Diving from the ramp onto Moxley. That's a hell of a leap. as Adam Cole found out later.
Mm-hmm.
Mox punching Phoenix down, Phoenix biting Mox's hand, draping DDT outside, Phoenix's leg drop to Mox over the barricade. I know it wasn't fully extended, but it still looked like it could have hurt. Then I've got a few bads.
Shall I do my goods first, and then we'll just slam all of the bads together at the end, because they're going to be the same.
One big one.
Yeah. So in addition to the massive hops of Phoenix jumping from the ramp that you said, the dude in the crowd getting kicked in the face by Phoenix. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I noticed that.
That was fun. That's what you get. Get out of the way. There are wrestlers coming to fight next to you. Just move, you moron.
Move.
Ray Phoenix chaining together a bunch of moves and moving super fast. The way that he does, and his brother as well. I'm just going to put this ugly in here, because then we'll get to the bad bits. After Ray Phoenix was stomped, he just kind of then rolled over on his head. I'm like, that's not how gravity works. If somebody stomps your face into the ground, you're just going down. Like, what kind of sell was that?
With all the flips Phoenix does, I don't think he knows what gravity is.
No, maybe he doesn't know how it works, and maybe he is the new Pac or Neville, and that he's the man that gravity forgot. Potentially. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, got that out of the way.
Come on then, lay it on us.
Okay. Well, I'll do a bad first. Kicking out of a pile driver.
Yeah, you should never kick out of any pile driver, as we have learned very heavily. They are dangerous, and
yes,
it should be a finisher.
Talking about dangerous pile drivers, the end pile drivers, the two of them where Mox basically looked like he absolutely broke his neck. Yeah, and the ref kind of being stupid.
Yeah. The ref was bad even without the inherent danger that was going on in the ring, because Mox didn't kick out and the ref didn't count the three anyway.
I know.
And I'm like,
I like how also what infuriated me was the commentary team. They just went, "Oh no, Mox twitched."
Yeah, I hate when they try and excuse failures like that. It really annoys me.
No, he didn't. No, he did not do that. Shut up.
Yeah. The thing is, this match really shouldn't have happened from pretty much the get-go, because the concussion occurred during that flip off the ramp where Phoenix launched himself a great distance, but he landed on Mox's head, and Mox's head went bomb straight into the mat outside the ring and on the concrete, and that is where he got the concussion. You could see throughout the match that he was a bit woozy. Still did a really good job, I was so impressed with Mox wrestling in this match, especially because he didn't bleed. He did an actual wrestling match. He doesn't do that much anymore. He normally just stabs himself in the head, bleeds a bit, and then just fights like a weird dog and goes home. So to actually have a decent match, even with a concussion, massive kudos. But that referee needs to go, man. Who was it? Rick Knox?
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that. I was too busy going, "You're an idiot."
He's not good at anything. And I think he's only still got a job because he's the Young Bucks buddy.
Yeah, it's the fact that he didn't kick out, and then he basically made Ray Phoenix drop Mox on his head again. It's like, no, the guy's clearly done something bad to himself. Just, I don't give a damn if he kicks out. Just do a quick count.
I mean, the second pile driver wasn't necessary anyway. They could have just literally redone the pin, and it would have looked clunky and awful, but given what had actually happened, it would have been forgiven.
We would have forgiven that.
But pile driving an already concussed person who was concussed at the beginning of the match, and then the pile driver was botched and he was dropped on his head, and it looked like he'd broken his neck in that. Thankfully, he did not. He just went kind of, concussion limp instead, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it looked bad. Like, I was like, oh man, sat there at half 1 a.m. going, oh man, I've just watched a dude's career end, and potentially his ability to play with his child as well. I'm like, this is not what I'm tuning in for. Can we have a bit of like safety going on? Like, where was the medical team early in the match? You should be spotting concussions and ending matches. It happens in every other sport. It happens in many other wrestling companies as well. You've got to be better than this. It's too serious. You're messing with people's lives here. So but it was a decent match, despite all that.
It was a decent match.
I enjoyed it until the last moment, and it's a shame that it's forever blighted. And we got a new champion, even though we weren't supposed to get a new champion. That was never the plan. And so as a result, our joint 3-way prediction of Jon Moxley goes nowhere, because so
we're all staying on the ones.
We are all staying on 1. And even though we should get a point because he was supposed to win, and they just gave it to Phoenix because Mox was like, I might be dead, so maybe you should have the belt. Okay.
Yeah, just give it to him.
Yeah, good plan. Yeah. It's better than having to relinquish it. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
AEW Women's World Championship. Saraya versus Toni Storm. I will start with the bads for this one.
Okay.
Kicking out of the nightcap. Boo. Kicking out of Storm Zero. Boo. Don't like it. But other than that, it was decent. Particular goods that stood out to me. Toni Storm's entrance and her new kind of, I'm a 1940s starlet, kind of
almost like a Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, even before Marilyn Monroe, like I don't know. Trying to delve into my movie history, like a Hepburn, like I think she's like an Audrey Hepburn type thing. Like Monroe wasn't really until the 50s, but like real like Casablanca type era starlet. I think it suits her, and also she's playing that kind of 1940s starlet while also being a little bit cracked in the head, so it just somehow those
work.
Things mesh together. Who knew that would be the Venn diagram that worked? Slaps to the face by Saraya, just I don't think there was any holding back there. That was just slapping a girl in the face. Brutal. The referee confiscating the shoe from Toni Storm, but she very clearly had a high heel hidden in the back, and she got that and used it. I'm like, great, love that. And obviously, as a red-blooded, hot-blooded male, I enjoyed the kiss of death. I don't think I can say any more about it without destroying the family-friendly aspect of this episode. So I will leave that there and hand to you if you have any more good, bad, or ugly.
No, I don't. You've summed it up lovely.
Excellent. Always nice to finish with a kiss. And so predictions, we all went for Saraya, which takes all 3 of us to 2. Thank you.
Thank you.
AEW World Championship. MJF versus Samoa Joe. Another good one. Over to you.
Yeah. The Bret Hart tribute by MJF. That was brilliant. Also, the little added, Dad, I'm adopted. That was really funny. Yeah. I liked that.
Can I just, as well, was it on this or on Rampage? But I don't think there's another good opportunity to bring it up. MJF doing the Steiner Math promo as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was on Rampage, replaying that he did it after this match. Yeah. But, fair play. He did that, verbatim, other than the little changes that he made to make it relevant to himself. I'm like, I love that Steiner Math is back in 2023. Like, MJF is the best in the world right now. I don't care what anyone says, and it's a slight spoiler to the Jez Sports Top 100 Wrestlers list that I'll be doing at the end of the year. Like, I think something drastic will need to happen to convince me that MJF is not number one on that list, to be honest.
Yeah. Anyway. Joe targeting the neck of MJF. Good old Joe. Joe catching MJF leg, and then MJF poking him in the eye.
Mm-hmm. Sportsmanship.
I still love the fact that MJF is still a heel, but people are just cheering him.
Yeah, his character hasn't changed whatsoever. He's still exactly the same as he was as a heel. It's just we like that now. He's our scumbag.
Yeah. MJF biting the kangaroo kick.
Yep.
Gotta love that. Death Valley driver onto the apron. That looked like it hurt. Uranagi through a table. Pile driver on the exposed floor, which they originally said was concrete. Then they quickly corrected themselves, saying, no, it's plastic covering the field. I was like, okay, guys. The low blows, both of them, because they both did low blows. The rope around Joe's neck to finish. And then also the handshake.
Yeah.
Which is a nice bit of sign of respect.
Joe was very much like, okay, you got me. Like, doesn't matter how you win. You got me. Kudos.
You got me.
Yeah. It won't happen again.
I like that.
Yeah.
But then the other thing I've got is Adam Cole hurting his ankle.
Very clearly
we
bad.
Now know. Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't only hurt it, he broke it in 3 places.
Yeah, he broke it in 3 places, so now we know he's actually screwed himself.
I mean, it's almost as if jumping off a 1.5 meter, 2 meter tall thing and landing flat-footed on your feet is a really stupid idea.
Yeah, he should have done a roll or something.
Yeah, if you just rolled through, it would be fine. Or
I mean, he's a wrestler; he should know how to do that.
Had he considered like just getting down carefully, using the steps, literally anything?
Yeah.
Like if he was just coming to shout, like he could have just run and stopped at the ramp and just shouted from there. And then been told to get down by the referee. Yeah. It was an ill-planned spot with the ultimate cost, really.
Yeah. That's all I got. What about you?
I have all of those same goods, nothing to add on that aspect. A couple more bads, though. All of the Roddy Strong stuff earlier in the night. A lot of people really loved this. Like, on Twitter, people were raving, like, oh, they'd made a noisy bed. I'm like, yes, fine. That was a funny moment. The bed creaking was pretty funny. However, I don't really understand why Roderick Strong left NXT to just become a whiny little female dog. Frankly. Like, how is this any good for his character?
It's not.
I just, it's dumb and I don't like it. It's just stupid stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just not a fan of it. So yeah, I'm hating every moment of Roderick Strong being on my screen at the moment. So at least that's one benefit of Adam Cole being out for a while, is maybe they'll put a pin in it and we won't have to see it for a little while until Cole is able to come back. The tag team, or rather the handicap match at Wrestle Dream is going to be interesting. More on that later. The other bad I have, and it wasn't that the mat or the move was bad, it's just it didn't make any sense to me. The Uranagi through a table. It was cool, but that should have been a DQ. That should have been the end of the match right there and then. Yeah. So, dumb. Yeah. But that's it, really. Overall, I enjoyed the match. I mean, it's two of my ultimate favorites in Joe and MJF. So
yeah.
There was only going to be one outcome though, and it is the outcome that we all predicted, and that is MJF still AEW World Champion, which takes all 3 to 3. V1 now. And that was Dynamite.
Yeah.
Very fitting main event. On to Rampage. The predictions continue. We're not resetting the numbers. We're just carrying that through for the entire Grand Slam event.
Yep.
Rampage opened with a tag team match between Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus Sting and Darby Allin. What was the stipulation for this? Just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like a who gives a damn match.
Yeah. And it's you doing this one.
I don't really have a huge amount to say, actually. A couple of goods. Darby being tossed into the ring post and selling it like he died. That was he's good at that. He's good at looking like he's dead. He's very good at it. And the Scorpion Death Coffin drop. Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't thought of that before, being they've been teaming for like 2.5 years now.
Yeah.
Scorpion Death Coffin drop. I dig it.
And
then my only bad, other than it just generally being a bit meh, Nick Wayne getting involved on Sting and Darby Allin's behalf. Yeah. It's not very babyface of you. And I get that, Christian's a massive scumbag. Yeah. But, yeah. And I kind of wish that they had the TNT Championship match on Rampage instead of on Collision, because I called that one to a T, and I'm like, this is just Christian beating Luchasaurus for the championship, so that he is actually the champion. I mean, I did think he was going to pin Darby Allin, so I was surprised with who he pinned on Collision, but still, I'm like, man, yeah. Anything from you about this match, or shall we rock through into the predictions?
Let's rock on through.
Okay. I did think you'd want to stall for time a little bit, being that you got this dead wrong. Matt and I went for Sting and Darby Allin, so we'll each get a point, and we'll both go to 4. And you can stay.
I'll stay on V1.
You can stay down there as V1. This next match didn't go particularly well for you either. Not because you predicted it wrong, but because you didn't bother predicting it at all.
For some reason, when I looked on Wikipedia, this wasn't on there.
Yeah, it was supposed to be on Dynamite, and so I don't know if they added it like late at night or something. You got your predictions in first, obviously, so maybe they added it just afterwards. But so you're not getting a point in this one, regardless of what happens. No. But what did you think of it? It's Orange Cassidy, Hook, and Chris Statlander versus Matt Menard, Angela Parker, and Anna Jay.
It's all right. I don't think there's much to talk about, really.
No.
Statlander showing her strength with the stalling suplex. Yeah. And then you had the triple suplex as well. And apart from that, it was like, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a lot of positive things to say about that stalling suplex, actually, because normally when you do a stalling suplex, they will focus the camera on the front, and you can very clearly see the person who's up in the suplex, their hand on the thigh of the suplexer, holding themselves up. But they had the angle such on the camera that you couldn't see that. So when she was being held up for ages, it was a lot more believable. And that never happened. So it was really refreshing to see that done very well. My other good is just Anna Jay.
Yeah.
Just her existence. Yeah. I feel like she's coming on really well as a wrestler, and she's not bad to look at either. Bad. No. Cassidy is suddenly okay, 100% now that he hasn't got the title. I mean, he got his head kicked in like a week earlier at All Out, but he's fine now after he'd been carrying injuries for the last 3 months while he was international champion. He's just, oh no, I don't have the belt anymore, so I'm fine.
I'm fine.
It's just very unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a match that happened, I think.
Yeah.
If we're being completely honest about it. So there you go. But it's a match that happened that Matt and I correctly predicted, which will take us both to 5. And you'll stay on 3. You'll stay on 3.
V1.
I do fear that we're not going to be able to do our usual, just 5 points thing much longer.
Oh, no, we won't be, will we?
But that's a story for the next episode.
The next one.
A lot of teases for the next episode in this one. It's almost like both companies are linked in some way or something.
Yeah.
Next match here, though. Best Friends versus the Kingdom versus the Righteous versus the Hardys. Number 1 contendership for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Not a huge amount to say about this one either. None of us predicted this because they literally pulled it out of their rear ends at the last moment.
Yeah.
The Goods, or the Good, I've only got one. The Righteous winning.
Yeah.
I thought that was good. I fully, if I had predicted it, I would have predicted the Kingdom. I fully expected them to win based on...
The funny thing is, when I watched this, I did think, the Kingdom's going to win because then they're going to challenge for the ROH Championships.
Yeah.
And it's going to be Adam Cole, Bebe, and then Roderick Strong is going to be there whining his little head off. And
I thought they were just going to further the story between the Kingdom and Cole and MJF, but I mean,
clearly not.
And the Righteous are probably going to make wonderful tag team champions when they beat Solo MJF on Sunday.
Yes,
potentially. If
that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Well, we'll see. Let's see what happens on Rampage and Collision before I make that decision fully. But the Bads. And that it may have changed since I wrote this based on Adam Cole's injury, but the Bads is this match single-handedly declared that there would be no World Championship match at Wrestle Dream, basically.
Yeah.
Because they don't like to have MJF wrestle twice. MJF, as part of his character, doesn't like to wrestle twice in one night.
Yeah.
Doesn't really like to wrestle once in one night. So. But so that kind of shadow announcement that no, you're getting the tag team match, so no world title, was a bit like, bit of a disappointment. Yeah. Looks like that might have changed now, but we'll see. And my final bad, the group failing to properly catch Matt Taven after he dived over the top rope and he just went splat. I'm like, no, there were 3 of you. Like, could you have not cushioned his fall a little bit?
No.
Poor show.
How about that?
And ugly, figuratively and literally, no Maria with the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they good for otherwise?
Absolutely nothing.
Much like War. Anything to add?
No.
No predictions, so
no.
5-3-5. Into the next. Another match I don't have a huge amount to say.
No.
This year's Rampage part of Grand Slam definitely wasn't as good as last year's. It was just, it was kind of there. AEW World Trios Championships, the Acclaimed versus the Dark Order. It's your turn.
The Dark Order disrespecting the Scissors, doing their own thing with it, and then using the championships.
Yeah, I generally like the aggression of the Dark Order in this. Bouncing people off the barricades and the ring posts. It's kind of returned to the Dark Order of old, but having this match as a match they were going to lose kind of negates all that. So it's a bit like, what's the point?
And then apart from that, it was just I'm
going to complain about Aubrey Edwards because she's there and she's not very good at her job, not stopping the double teams. Like, why are you there? What function do you serve as a referee if you're not refereeing?
Again, what are you good for?
Absolutely nothing. Say it again.
Wahoo.
Through we go then. Predictions. We all went for the Acclaimed. Everybody
What a
loves
surprise.
the Acclaimed, which takes Matt and I to the Motor City for 6 and takes you to 4.
Just 4 guys. Might be premature.
Next match. A match that I enjoyed far more than I was expecting. Sky Blue versus Julia Hart. I really am enjoying Julia Hart now. I feel like she's fully come into her own.
Steady.
She's fully come into her own. I think she's perfected the little sinister smile that she does. And I think it's a great heel kind of character trait that she's worked really hard on.
I like her music as well.
Yeah, I think it is actually her singing it. I could be wrong.
Is it? Oh, that's cool.
I'm not sure. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on it, but it sounds like her.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up. And I don't know if they've released it as a song like on the streaming services, but now I've got to find out. I also liked Julia Hart's superplex, then hanging onto the top turnbuckle and, kind of spidering upside down. That was good. And I love her submission finisher. I don't think I've seen her use it before. Heartless. It's basically the Rings of Saturn, but without doing the rings bit that Perry Saturn used to do. I think it works for what she's doing, and she's locking it in on everyone left, right, and centre and torturing them.
Yeah.
Decent. Yeah, it was a fairly standard match, but I enjoyed it.
Good. Nothing else on me.
Fair enough. Another match that we did not predict because they pulled it out of their rear ends. Much like the next match, too, which was Mike Santana versus Jobber Bronson. Was that his name?
I don't know what his name was.
I think it was Jobber Bronson, something like that. Is it me or is it you?
It's me.
Have you got anything positive to say about this match?
This is the match that happened.
I don't even think it was. Well, I've got a match that happened as well, but I think it was even worse than that.
It was
the match that we wish didn't happen. I think is the answer. Yeah.
Yeah, go with that.
Yeah, most of what I don't like about it is a rant. So you go first.
I don't actually have anything written down because I was just like, it's just a waste of my time.
Okay, rant time then. Mike is not a hard man name. Like, why they've brought him back to be a hard man, and they've called him Mike. Mike is not a hard man name. Mike is my dad. Mike is a miniature green dude in Monsters Inc. Mike is the dude that administers our prediction competition and makes sure that we don't cheat. It's like a stats numbers kind of guy. Mike is not a hard man name. Just call him Santana. Like, what was wrong with Santana? What are we going to rename Ortiz? Like, are they just going to give him like Lucy? Is he going to be Lucy Ortiz? It's probably a harder name than Mike. Greg. There you go. Greg Ortiz. Greg. Yeah. Keith.
Hey.
Keith Ortiz.
Hello, my name's Keith.
All right, my name's Keith. This is Mike. We're what are we called again? Proud and powerful. Yeah, that was rubbish as well.
We're gonna come and do your accounts.
If you're lucky, we might clean your windows for you too. Mike Santana.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm going to call him Keith Ortiz now, though. That's happening.
Keith Ortiz.
Yes, I am done.
Okay, thank you. Well, we didn't predict that either because they pulled out their rear end. So we'll just go straight on to the next one, shall we?
Yeah, they pulled out of the same place that they pulled the name Mike, I think. Yeah. The main event. The Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Championships. The Mogul Embassy versus the Hung Bucks. That's what they're called. Have you not heard that?
No, I haven't brother.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves. Yeah. The Hung Bucks. That's what that trio is called.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's your turn.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to start with the bads.
Mm,
Refereeing. Rick Knox is
Yeah.
the worst referee.
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
a competition between him and Aubrey Edwards, but Rick Knox streets ahead at being bad. He's terrible. The roll-up win after what was a fairly decent match. It's just disappointing.
Yeah.
The good parts of it, though, the fast, busy start was very frenetic, all over the place. I enjoyed that. And then the other thing that stood out to me, and has done in a few different matches with these guys, actually, the Gates of Agony swing toss up into the sit-out powerbomb from Brian Cage. It's a great double team move.
We like that.
Hopefully, though, this is the last time I've seen that move, because I want the Gates of Agony to leave the Mogul Embassy and go and do their own thing, because they're better than just being third or fourth fiddle to this stupid stable, to be frank. But yeah, it was all right, fine. Yeah, it served the purpose of what it needed to do, which was take the belts off Mogul Embassy.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
No.
Well, closing out what has not been a great day for you in terms of predictions. You went for the Mogul Embassy. Matt and I both went for the Hung Bucks. So you'll finish the day on 4. And we will move to 7. The best of 7 series between, I don't know, Chris Benoit and Booker T, or Sheamus and
Cesaro.
That was it, thank you. My mind went blank then who it was that had that best of 7 series recently. Which means that the gap has closed considerably. I mean, not between Matt and us. He's just started, so he's on 7.
No, Matt's way behind.
Yeah, he needs to, buck up his ideas, really. That's crap.
Hung buck.
Hung buck up his ideas. Very good. But the gap between us has closed, and I am now on 49, and you are on 50. 50. Halfway to that 100 that we each managed to break. Did we? Did I get there? I'm not sure.
I think I did. We both broke it.
I think there was it was only like a couple of points difference in the end when it came down to it. But now, before we close, have a little break before we move into our next episode, I only have one further question for you. And that is, Dan, on this day, do you see clearly? And if you do, what will you rate this episode, AEW Dynamite Rampage Grand Slam, out of 5 preventable injuries?
It was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing to me. I feel like it had its good points, but it also had its just fine points. So weighing it up all together, I am going to go 2.5. Just because I felt it was just fine altogether.
I feel like it is worth a little bit more than that for Dynamite. I feel like the Dynamite aspect of it was stellar. I really enjoyed Dynamite. Rampage was what it was. The issue that they have is that they're handicapped by Rampage being on after Dynamite. And so you've always got like a letdown after the main thing, and that's the problem. Maybe they should do it like, I don't know, Collision and Dynamite. So Saturday, but then you've got to have the venue for 2 days, which they don't want to do. Maybe you should just have Grand Slam be a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's what I would do, because I feel like the whole concept of it, putting it in Arthur Ashe Stadium, where the US Open is, it's a very unique kind of building, and it's a unique concept to have Grand Slam in there. I feel like it deserves to be a pay-per-view at this point, and then you wouldn't have to faff about.
They recorded both things on the same night.
Yes, yeah. So that they only had to have the venue for 1 day. Yeah. So they might as well just have it on the weekend.
Just have it as a pay-per-view.
And just have it as a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
AEW needs more pay-per-views anyway. This part of the year is a bit crowded, so maybe they'd have to move it. But
Yeah, they could move it.
I would move Full Gear earlier in the year
Mhm.
and have, Grand Slam in kind of mid to late October, early November, where Full Gear is now. But so I can't give it 2.5. I feel like that's a little bit harsh. I'm going to go with 3.
Okay.
Not a huge amount more generous, but still a little bit better. And there we have it. If you are watching us live as we record, do stay tuned. Our next episode is New Japan Pro Wrestling Destruction in Kobe, and we'll be back for that in a few minutes. If you are listening or watching later, then you can just mosey on over to the next episode.
Click on a button.
Do some clicking. If you're subscribed, it'll probably just autoplay, and you won't have to do anything there either. You can just enjoy a little bit of music, and Dan will be back to welcome you in a matter of moments. Yeah. So until then, I've been Jez.
I've been Dan.
Matt sends his regards when he was supposed to be here, but he's ill, and he won't be here for the next one either, because we're literally doing it in a moment. Next week.
Yeah.
This has been the Main Event Podcast. Toodles.
Bye.